Hi everyone, welcome back to Card of the Week. I'm so excited. Can you believe it? We just celebrated the fourth Sunday of Advent and now we are in these just a few days leading up to Christmas Eve and Christmas. Merry Christmas! Let's begin with lighting our Advent wreath and we'll say our prayer for this fourth week of Advent. Well, that's all 4 candles lit. Remember, this week on Friday, and then you'll see it throughout the season, we'll have that center candle lit, so just a few more days, and then we'll have all of the candles on the wreath lit. Maybe if you only have 4 candles, you're already there, but that time is surely coming. So let's say our prayer for the fourth week of Advent. God of love, Christmas is almost here. We are excited, but we are still waiting. Fill our hearts with love for all your people as we get ready for Jesus to arrive. Amen. Well, that's a great reminder to act with love during this time. You know, for some folks, Christmas can be really stressful. There's lots of things to do. Maybe in your house you're experiencing getting ready for company or maybe some travel. Or this year maybe it's stressful, you're still not able to go and see the folks that you love. And so in an act of love, we can make sure we're being kind to one another, being patient, because it is hard to wait for Christmas. It's so exciting, but we can always have love in our lives. Now, that's just from me, Pastor Ellen, and I'm sure maybe you already exemplify that in your life, but we're gonna look at one of our cards coming up, and we're gonna skip ahead to after Christmas. This is for Sunday, December 26th, so the day after Christmas. It's the first Sunday of Christmas. So remember, we mark those days too, and we'll get to Epiphany at the end of the Christmas season. Here's what this card says. It has some different folks on the front there, and we'll find out who exactly they are as we read the card. The first people the angels told about Jesus' birth were shepherds. Shepherding was a common job in Bible times, and it still exists today. Whether on sheep ranches in the western United States or in the mountains of Chile or Peru, shepherds work long hours to care for their sheep. What do you think you would like about being a shepherd? What do you think would be difficult? Now I have to tell you, I chose this card about the shepherds because if you were in our pageant or saw our Christmas pageant this year, it was called Too Many Shepherds. And all of our young ones in Sunday school, maybe you included, were a shepherd in the pageant. And so everyone dressed up because, as we talked about, the role of the shepherd is so important. The angels visited them, and even though it might have been a little bit scary and intimidating, they heard this good news about Jesus, and so they went and they saw baby Jesus. They told Mary and Joseph what had happened to them. They had been visited by the angels to say, hey, why don't you go see this baby, the Messiah that's been born in Bethlehem? And they go and they see Jesus. They tell Mary and Joseph about their experience of the angels, and not only do they tell them, they tell a bunch of other people. And so they go and tell everyone about the good news of Jesus. That's why they're so important. And so the role of the shepherd, you maybe wouldn't think that they're the folks who tell everyone the important things going on because they're really busy. They have a big job to take care of their herds of sheep, no matter where they are, like our card reminded us. And so you can maybe think, if I were a shepherd, and some of you had the experience of dressing up like one and then being involved in that Christmas story, but what would you like about being a shepherd and what would be hard? I think that I would like the ability to be outside to work, to go and enjoy nature, but I wouldn't like when that nature is maybe a little rainy or too cold. But those shepherds, no matter what is going on with the weather, they're out there taking care of the sheep. And of course, we know that Jesus is like a shepherd, and no matter what the weather, no matter what's going on in our lives, Jesus takes care of us. So go ahead and think about that, being a shepherd. And again, so cool that we did that for our Christmas pageant. And then we have, of course, the shepherds on the front of our card for Card of the Week this week. Well, like I said, you might be watching this in the days leading up to Christmas or maybe after, so a very Merry Christmas to you, and thanks so much for tuning in for Card of the Week. We'll see you again next week. Remember, our decks continue. See you then.